Still dealing with food cravings, day 1057. So getting any new viewers caught up, in the previous video, I described how this preceding week has been extraordinarily stressful with travel, a conference, job walks, a very high conditioning volume. For me, managing diet isn't so much a discipline or a motivation thing anymore, it's more of a habit thing. So it's very unusual for me to find that looking at fast food commercials and smelling pizza and things of that nature, I'm actually tempted to eat that kind of stuff. The food cravings reared their ugly head, which is an indicator of my high level of fatigue going into the weekend. So what I described in the previous video are the 3 actionable steps that I utilize when the food craving demons start speaking to me. Starting with number 1, managing stress, which in this case means reducing my training volume. So in spite of what I planned on paper, I did not do any lifting both yesterday or today. Number 2, I did not, because I do not, have a cheat day or go off the wagon. But number 3, I found something to eat close to what I was craving that still falls within the design of my program and long-term goals. Yesterday I was craving burgers, so I went out, got some 96% lean beef. For whatever reason, I decided to get some mushrooms as well, made those up, ate some burgers, the last of which I had for lunch a few hours ago, which brings us to my next point today, which is that, as I often say, biology is action over time. So what does that mean to you, dear listener? It means that recovery, like every other biological process, is action over time. So it's not a switch that you flip. It's not like a cheat meal or a cheat day or one day of eating different food or tasty food or backing off training is always going to do the trick. It's dependent upon how deep a hole you dug for yourself. The deeper the hole, the longer that SRA, that stimulus recovery adaptation curve, is going to be, particularly the recovery portion of that curve. To that point, this morning I woke up and I felt slightly fatigued, although not nearly as fatigued as yesterday, despite banking a significant amount of sleep. In terms of performance metrics on my conditioning, they were a little bit better, both in terms of wattage and in terms of overall zone 2 time. And with those hard metrics, as well as the subjective metric of how I feel, I determined that I'm not quite recovered yet. And so, with that, before I get back on my roast kick again, I got some pork sirloin. Something different, tasty, a little bit higher fat content, different amino acid profile. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, and paprika, as I do, mostly because I still have a ton of it left over in the apartment. I seared both sides on high heat, then covered it to let it simmer on medium heat for a while to cook all the way through. And once complete, I made 2 lunches for tomorrow and the following day, 2 dinners for tonight and tomorrow night, and I combined them with the remaining mushrooms that I had from the burgers that I made yesterday. Those 4 meals should carry me to Tuesday afternoon, at which time I'll reevaluate both subjectively how I feel and objectively my conditioning metrics and decide whether or not I fully recovered going into Wednesday. The purpose of this video, folks, is a lot of times when we talk about these things like recovery and 5 tips to do this or 6 tips to do this, they aren't actionable because the creator of the video doesn't necessarily demonstrate them in real life, and that's what I'm doing here. Since you can only train what you can recover from, of greater value than rehashing the X's and O's of a given workout is procedurally how I recover from the total aggregate training volume of a hard week. And that's it, folks. I'm going to enjoy this here pork sirloin and mushrooms with this delicious Carolina barbecue sauce. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, Discord link in the description. Consistency is a superpower. Stay in the fight. Thanks for watching.